American homeowners in their 50s and 60s pricing fences this June are about to learn what that quote really costs. Not because they did anything wrong, because nobody ever showed them a living hedge beats a wooden fence for good. These 14 hedges replace that entire fence budget permanently. Before plant number 1, drop your state right now because your USDA zone completely changes. Which of these performs best for you? Find yours and pay attention. And the one at number 14, let the garden center industry bury it quietly for 3 generations. This changes everything. Plant number 1, common lilac, is quietly built to replace a full $3,000 wooden fence quote with a single $20 shrub, block by block, one complete growing season at a time, year after year. Picture warm violet-purple blooms cascading over a dense 6-foot backyard privacy wall of glossy green leaves, thick enough that not a single fence post or neighbor's window shows through it anymore. Zones 3 through 7, full sun, average well-drained soil. Few American growers realize a mature lilac's dense branching actually blocks sightlines faster than any wooden fence panel. University extension trials confirm lilac canopies consistently reach full opacity screening within 4 growing seasons. One $20 shrub now matures into 6 feet of coverage, replacing $800 in fence panel materials. Most growers still plant lilacs too close together, cutting airflow and inviting powdery mildew within 2 full seasons. That single mistake means replacing the entire established shrub, losing full $30 and 3 years of growth. Spaced correctly, that same $20 lilac becomes a permanent fence replacement worth thousands without a single mildew problem. But the next hedge on this list does something lilac never can. It holds that same wall of privacy through the coldest winter without dropping a single leaf. And somewhere in this video is the story of a retired couple in Ohio who replaced a $5,000 fence quote with a single hedge line. That story is coming. Keep watching. Plant number 2, American holly, holds full privacy coverage straight through winter, while most flowering hedges go bare and expose that fence line completely. Picture glossy dark green leaves and bright red berries standing thick against snow, blocking every sightline a neighbor's window could catch through a leafless January yard. Zones 5 through 9, full sun to partial shade, moist, well-drained soil. Few American homeowners realize holly needs both a male and female shrub nearby before a single red berry ever appears. University extension records confirm mature hollies hold 90% leaf density even through a hard winter freeze. One $30 shrub replaces roughly $900 of winter, exposed fence panel replacement labor. Most growers plant only one holly, then wonder for years why berries never come at all. That mistake wastes an entire decade of a hedge that could have fed birds and blocked every view. Pair male and female correctly, and that $30 holly becomes a berry-covered winter wall worth $900 in avoided fence repair. But this one blooms before anything else wakes up, turning bare early spring into solid yellow coverage, while every other hedge on this list is still asleep. Plant number 3, Forsythia, turns a bare early spring yard into a solid wall of yellow, while every fence post around it is still exposed and gray. Picture arching branches so densely covered in bloom that not 1 inch of fence line survives visible behind them, weeks before any other hedge on this list even wakes up. Few American homeowners realize Forsythia grows nearly 3 feet a year, outpacing almost every other hedge on this entire list. University extension data confirms established Forsythia reaches full privacy screening within just 2 complete growing seasons. One $15 shrub matures into 6 feet of dense coverage, replacing $500 of fence panel labor. Most growers prune Forsythia hard in early spring, cutting off the very buds that were about to bloom. That timing mistake erases an entire year of blooms, wasting a full season of screening color. Prune right after bloom fades, and that $15 forsythia becomes the fastest fence replacement on this entire list. Full screening in just 2 seasons. But the next hedge trades yellow spring color for something almost nobody expects from a privacy shrub. Clusters of berries in a shade of purple that stops neighbors mid-walk. Plant number 4, beautyberry, replaces a plain fence line with clusters of purple berries, so vivid that neighbors stop walking to ask what it is. Picture arching branches wrapped in that unmistakable violet color, dense enough by late summer to block every sightline, while every ordinary green hedge nearby just fades into the background. Zones 6 through 10, full sun to partial shade, well-drained soil. Few American homeowners realize beautyberry can be cut nearly to the ground each winter and still fill back in by midsummer. University extension trials confirm full berry production returns within a single growing season after hard pruning. $115 shrub matures into 6 feet of coverage, replacing $400 of privacy fence panel. Most growers plant beautyberry in heavy shade, expecting the same berry show as full sunspots. That mistake cuts berry production by more than half, wasting the entire visual payoff of the plant. Planted in full sun, and that $15 beautyberry becomes the most talked about hedge on the entire property, producing full berry coverage every single summer without fail. But the next shrub on this list does something none of these others can even attempt. It turns the coldest, grayest month of winter into a solid wall of red. Plant number 5, red twig dogwood, turns the single grayest month of the year into a solid wall of vivid red, exactly when every wooden fence looks its absolute worst. Picture bare crimson stems clustered so densely that the entire hedge glows against snow, doing more for winter curb appeal than any fence-stained job ever could. Few American homeowners realize the brightest red color only comes from stems younger than 3 years old on this shrub. University extension guidance confirms cutting 1/3 of old stems yearly keeps color vivid every single winter. $115 shrub matures into 6 feet of coverage, replacing $400 of fence staining costs. Most growers never prune this dogwood, letting stems age into a dull brownish gray color instead. That mistake erases the entire reason for planting it, wasting years of potential winter screening color. Renewal prune every single winter, and that $15 dogwood becomes the only hedge on this entire list that actually improves the ugliest month of the year outright. But the next shrub does something none of these 5 have managed, yet it grows so fast it outpaces almost every fence installer's entire timeline completely. Plant number 6, American arborvitae, grows into a full privacy wall faster than most fence installers can even finish scheduling the job. Picture a dense green row shooting upward 3 feet a year, reaching a solid 10-foot screen, while a half-built wooden fence still sits waiting on delayed materials next door. Zones 2 through 7, full sun to partial shade, moist, well-drained soil. Few American homeowners realize arborvitae's dense root network also stabilizes sloped yards that a fence post alone never could. University extension trials confirm this shrub reaches 10 feet of solid screening within just 5 growing seasons. $130 shrub matures into a permanent wall, replacing over $1,000 in tall fence panel construction. Most growers space these too tightly, causing browning interior foliage from blocked airflow within a few years. That mistake means gaps forming permanently, undoing the exact privacy this hedge was planted to provide. Space them correctly, and that $30 arborvitae becomes a permanent 10-foot wall worth over $1,000 in avoided fence construction. But the screen that thickens every single year gets even tougher with the next shrub, one that survives drought, poor soil, and neglect a fence could never withstand. Plant number 7, Eastern red cedar, survives drought, poor soil, and total neglect, while a wooden fence rots and leans after just one rough season. Picture dense blue-green foliage standing thick and upright on rocky, dry ground where nothing else would even establish, holding that same privacy line decade after decade without complaint. Few American homeowners realize this native cedar actually performs worse with regular watering than with none at all. University extension records confirm established cedars survive extended drought that would kill most ornamental fence-lined shrubs outright. One $20 shrub matures into a permanent windbreak, replacing over $700 in storm-damaged fence repair. Most growers water this cedar, like every other hedge, causing root rot in soil that never needed it. That mistake kills an established shrub outright, wasting years of growth built for zero maintenance. Leave that $20 cedar completely alone, and it becomes the toughest fence replacement on this entire list, standing firm through neglect. A wooden fence never could survive. And that same toughness is exactly what one retired Ohio couple discovered the moment they finally stopped paying for fence quotes for good. Earlier at the start of this video, I mentioned a couple in Ohio. This is that story. In Zone 5, after a $5,000 fence quote, they planted lilac and arborvitae instead, and university extension spacing guidance meant full coverage arrived in under 4 growing seasons. That $5,000 quote became a permanent hedge line for under $200, fully screened by their 4th Zone 5 spring. The viewers here right now are the ones this channel was built for, and what comes next includes the exact spacing distances serious growers use for the fastest possible full coverage. Plant number 8, Viburnum arrowwood, delivers white spring blooms, dense summer coverage, and fall berries, while a wooden fence stays exactly the same flat panel year-round. Picture clusters of white flowers giving way to thick green privacy foliage by early summer, then deep blue-black berries feeding songbirds, as the exact same shrub keeps blocking every sightline. Zones 3 through 8, full sun to partial shade, adaptable soil. Alad. Few American homeowners realize viburnum needs a second variety planted nearby before berries ever fully form. University extension trials confirm mature viburnum hedges reach full screening density within 3 complete growing seasons. One $20 shrub matures into 6 feet of coverage, replacing $500 of decorative fence panel cost. Most growers plant only a single viburnum, then wonder for years why the berries never appear. That mistake wastes the entire fall display, leaving only flowers and foliage instead of full color. Pair 2 varieties correctly, and that $20 viburnum becomes a 3-season privacy wall worth $500 in avoided fence cost. But the screen that thickens every single year gets taken to an entirely different scale. Next, a shrub that outgrows every fence height limit most cities even allow. Plant number 9, Leyland cypress, climbs past any height a city fence permit would ever allow, giving American homeowners privacy no wooden structure legally can. Picture feathery green-blue foliage rising 3 feet a year into a towering wall, blocking 2-story windows that a standard 6-foot fence panel. Zones 6 through 10, full sun, well-drained, adaptable soil. Few American homeowners realize Leyland cypress grows up to 4 feet a year, faster than almost any hedge available at a nursery. University extension records confirm mature cypress reaches full towering screening within just 3 growing seasons. One $30 shrub matures into a permanent wall, replacing over $1,200 in tall privacy fence construction. Most growers skip early structural pruning, letting the shrub grow tall but thin and unstable in wind. That mistake creates a leaning hedge, wasting years of height that never becomes usable privacy coverage. Structure prune early, and that $30 cypress becomes a towering wall worth over $1,200 in avoided fence permits and full construction costs. But not every yard needs that much height. The next shrub proves a smaller border can still deliver complete privacy without ever touching a saw. Plant number 10, nimbark, brings deep burgundy color to a small border that a plain, unfinished fence panel could never match at any price. Picture arching branches of rich red-purple foliage forming a compact 4-foot privacy wall, dense enough for a smaller yard, while every unstained fence section nearby stays flat and gray. Zones 2 through 7, full sun to partial shade, adaptable soil. Few American homeowners realize 9 bark's peeling. Layered bark adds texture interest through winter, long after leaves drop. University Extension guidance confirms full color intensity requires at least 6 hours of direct sun daily. 115. Shrub matures into 4 feet of coverage, replacing $300 of small section fence panel. Most growers plant 9 bark in partial shade, expecting the same burgundy color as full sunspots. That mistake fades the foliage to plain green, wasting the entire reason for choosing this shrub. Plant it in full sun, and that $15 nimbark becomes the most colorful compact border on the entire property, holding rich burgundy year after year. But the next hedge trades color for something quieter and more permanent, a structured evergreen wall that never changes, never fades, and never needs replacing. Plant number 11, inkberry holly, never changes, never fades, and never needs the recurring repair work a wooden fence demands every few years, without fail. Picture small, glossy, dark green leaves forming a tight, structured evergreen wall that looks identical in July and January alike, requiring 0 staining, 0 replacement boards, and 0 seasonal upkeep. Zones 4 through 9, full sun to partial shade, moist, acidic soil. Few American homeowners realize inkberry holly naturally suckers from its roots, thickening the hedge base without any extra planting. University Extension guidance confirms this native shrub needs consistently acidic soil to hold its deep green color. $120 shrub matures into a permanent structured wall, replacing over $600 in recurring fence maintenance. Most growers plant inkberry in alkaline soil, causing yellowing foliage that never fully recovers. That mistake weakens the entire hedge permanently, wasting the plant's naturally low maintenance advantage completely. Test your soil first, and that $20 inkberry becomes a permanent structured wall worth $600 in avoided fence maintenance for good, saving the most formal hedge options for last. The next shrub proves fast color and complete privacy can arrive in that very same growing season. Plant number 12, spirea, delivers full pink bloom coverage in its very first season, while a wooden fence installer is still scheduling the actual build. Picture a compact 3-foot border exploding into dense pink color within months of planting, blocking low sight lines faster than any construction crew could even start driving posts. Zones 4 through 8, full sun, adaptable, well-drained soil. Few American homeowners realize spirea reblooms a second time if dead-headed right after the first flush fades completely. University Extension guidance confirms this shrub reaches full low border coverage within a single growing season. $110 shrub matures into 3 feet of coverage, replacing $200 of low fence panel installation. Most growers skip deadheading entirely, losing the second color flush that this shrub is capable of producing. That mistake wastes half a season of color, leaving only green foliage through late summer. Deadhead, right after bloom, and that $10 spirea becomes a double flush color border worth $200 in avoided low fence installation. But the next shrub trades color for something completely different. The exact clipped, formal look most American homeowners picture when they imagine a real hedge. Plant number 13, common privet, grows into the exact, crisp, clipped, formal hedge line that a warped, uneven wooden fence panel can never physically match. Picture tight oval leaves shaped into a straight rectangular wall, dense enough to hide an entire property boundary, while nearby fence boards keep bowing and shifting out of line. Zones 4 through 7, full sun to partial shade, adaptable soil, Few American homeowners realize privet tolerates aggressive clipping better than almost any other hedge on this entire list. University Extension guidance confirms mature privet reaches full formal screening density within just 2 growing seasons. $110 shrub matures into 6 feet of coverage, replacing $400 of straight fence panel installation. Most growers clip privet during active spring nesting season, disturbing birds that shelter inside dense hedges. That mistake disrupts local wildlife needlessly when a simple 2-week clipping delay avoids the entire problem. Clip after nesting season ends, and that $10 privet becomes a formal fence replacement worth $400, full screening in 2 seasons. And now, for the final plant teased since the very first minute of this video, the most refined formal hedge choice on this entire list, saved for exactly this moment. Plant number 14, boxwood, is the exact shrub this entire video has been building toward. The refined classic that outlasts every wooden fence ever built. Picture dense, small evergreen leaves clipped into a tight, timeless wall. The same formal hedge American estates relied on decades before a single fence panel needed replacing. Zones 5 through 9. Full sun to partial shade, well-drained soil. Few American homeowners realize a well-setted boxwood hedge can live and thrive for more than 100 years. University Extension records confirm this shrub reaches full formal screening density within just 3 growing seasons. $120 shrub matures into a permanent wall, replacing $800 in classic fence panel construction. Most growers plant boxwood in poorly drained soil, causing root rot that kills the shrub within years. That mistake destroys a hedge built to outlive the homeowner, wasting a full century of potential. Plant it in well-drained soil, and that $20 boxwood becomes a formal wall built to outlive the fence it replaced by nearly an entire century. Now that all 14 hedges are fully revealed, 3 important things about this list still need to be said before you plant a single one. 3 things about these 14 hedges that almost no fence company will ever tell you. Leyland cypress and arborvitae outgrow every other shrub on this list, reaching full screening a full 2 seasons faster than boxwood or privet. Planting most of these too close together wastes 40% of their mature width, cutting years off their functional privacy life for nothing. Formal hedges like privet and boxwood need 2 to 3 clippings yearly, while informal shrubs like beautyberry need almost no maintenance at all. Combined correctly, these 14 hedges replace an entire property line of fencing worth $6,000 to $12,000 permanently, with 0 staining ever again required. Here is exactly where to begin, based on your specific zone. Here is exactly where to begin. Zone to plants to dollar. American homeowners across zones 2 through 6 should combine arbor vitae, lilac, eastern red cedar, and red twig dogwood together. 4 proven cold-hardy shrubs, totaling well under $200 combined, permanently replacing thousands of dollars in cold climate wooden fence construction, ongoing repair work, and repeated seasonal staining costs every 10 years. American homeowners across zones 7 through 10 should combine Leyland cypress, beautyberry, and American holly together for fast, layered, year-round warm climate privacy screening that establishes quickly without any real effort required. Root establishment closes completely once the ground finally freezes, so miss this entire fall planting window and your very first real result waits a full extra year. You just received zone-accurate, dollar-grounded, research-based hedge knowledge that most American gardening channels have genuinely never managed to put in one single place. If even one of these 14 hedges could truly save you an entire fence quote, hit that like button right now. Drop your exact state and USDA zone below, and tell us honestly what your own fence quote actually came back at. Then tell us which hedge you are planting first this fall. Subscribe to Natural Verge, The plants your great-grandmother knew are still out there, and we find them every single week for you.